My name is Douglas Wyatt. I'm the Director of Research for the Center for Nutritional Research, and we specialize in colostrum studies. I've got a special story I want to tell you. I got involved in colostrum because over 2 decades ago, my wife had turned to me, and she had been on repeated antibiotics for all of her life, and it was killing her, literally. I mean, this chemotherapy over and over and over again, folks. And she turned to me and she says, "I can't do this one more time, Doug." And I was looking at a virtual death sentence for her, knowing that. I went to a business meeting that morning, and the only thing I had left was prayer. And out of that, I turned to a fellow that I met at breakfast that morning. He happened to have a PhD and an ND. He'd studied in Europe, and he turned to me and he asked me all kinds of questions, but the end result of that is he said, have you tried colostrum? And I went, colostrum. What's first food? I grew up on a ranch. My goodness, the calves and the colts, if they don't get the colostrum within 24 hours of birth, they die. Simple as that. All mammals except humans will die without the colostrum. So colostrum, what is it? Why are we talking about it for human consumption? Didn't we get it at birth? Well, you might have. But the real issue here is that you should have gotten all of colostrum's components for a couple of years in the breast milk. And most of us didn't get that. Because Jonas Salk came along and said, boy, it's just fine to take formulas, the junk food for babies. So what happened with the colostrum? The colostrum virtually turned my life and my wife's life around. It took and brought her immune system back into full function. It helped restore the thymus gland, which is an amazing issue, that the colostrum can actually help restore, repair, and rebuild the thymus. And so it gave her life back, got her off antibiotics for 20 years. And the healing process out of that was so amazing that I ended up at the University of Utah Medical School as a non-medical professional at that time studying colostrum. I found over 10,000 peer-reviewed articles on colostrum. Nobody knew about them. I took them home and built 2 books that we published with 2 different doctors and built a company. And sourcing colostrum was the biggest issue that we had because Kay was a barometer. My wife, Kay, would become immediately ill if she didn't have the highest quality colostrum with all of its components on a living basis. And so what we're talking about with Sovereign Laboratories is Sovereign Laboratories, we found, is the only colostrum company in the world that tests its products on an end product basis for all of the major components, so we know they're there, we standardize for that at a pharmaceutical grade, and additionally, if colostrum is digested, it's simply destroyed. Stomach acids and digestive enzymes render colostrum's components moot, inert, destroy them. So we apply, and I should say reapply, because raw, fresh, liquid colostrum and milk, mother's milk, are surrounded by the cell membrane of the mammary gland, mammary cells. And these mammary membranes are lipids, and the lipids are very special. They're phosphatidylcholine and phosphatidylserine. And they can penetrate cellular membranes, get into that, they can penetrate through the bowel wall and carry colostrum's wonderful components throughout the body and the bloodstream and make them available at the cellular level, where colostrum goes in and repairs DNA, activates stem cells, etc. Now, what is colostrum good for? I mean, I got mine when I was a child. Why do I need this as an adult? Well, the leading reason is because of leaky gut syndrome. And colostrum has a phenomenal story to tell about leaky gut. As a director of research for colostrum for over 2 decades, I've initiated more than 24 clinical studies. One of the first ones we did was with animals. We did this on a pig farms in Malaysia, and we went in and we took pigs and we fed them hydrochloric acid. We fed them colostrum to counter it. Not only did the colostrum prevent the damage from the excess stomach acids, we're simulating ulcers in humans here, and we were able to repair existing damage, and surprise of surprises, we grew the villi height of the villi in the small intestine by 20%. The nutritional uptake from the pigs was so incredible, and it was building lean muscle and not fat content in the pigs. We were able to get all the farmers in Malaysia off antibiotics and into natural feeds with colostrum. The second studies that we helped initiate were in Ireland and in London. And in London, we had Dr. Playford took colostrum and was able to prove that with NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, pain medications, all cause stomach and gastrointestinal damage. They're reputed for that. We know that because Celebrex has one pain medication, always says a contraindication for that is arthritis, and arthritis is caused by leaky gut. So if we want to stop autoimmune disease conditions from progressing, and if we want to shut down that process of chronic conditions in the body, we have to heal the leaky gut. Most of the doctors in this audience know that. And so colostrum has the ability, proven in animal and human studies, to not only heal existing damage, prevent additional damage, and to restore the vitality and ability to uptake nutrients. Additionally, we did studies on AIDS with colostrum and a very special product that we call Viralox. And Viralox is an oral spray. And Viralox in combination with colostrum powder with stage 4 HIV patients was able to eliminate viral blood loads, normalize CD4 counts, normalize T cell counts, and to eliminate all host infections on every participant that finished the protocol within 30 days. So we had vibrant, thriving patients on a consistent basis, near 100% within that 30-day time frame. So colostrum has the ability to shut down viral replication, to hunt down viral invaders in the body, to identify cells that are invaded by viruses, even retroviruses like AIDS, and to raise the flag and so that natural killer cells, which Viralox and colostrum has an ability to increase natural killer cell activity by up to 400 times, which is more than any other natural substance in the world. So a combination of what colostrum does with immune and what it does for GI health is the beginning of vibrant, radiant health, that without that health, you can't age. You can't age gracefully at all. You're going to die young. The bottom line, too, is that colostrum has an incredible capacity for increasing athletic output. What we're looking at is we're looking at colostrum as the only natural source of all of the growth factors, including IGF-1. And most of the audience that's listening to this tape know that IGF-1 is the real growth hormone. The growth hormone that actually stimulates muscle differentiation, bone growth, brain development, nerve growth. All of the growth in the body takes place because of the growth factors. So IGF-1 in athletes, when we first worked with it, they were taking 60 grams a day. The Olympic athletes for the whole nation of Australia used colostrum to beat the Chinese in the 2004 Summer Games. They published a television show for 30 minutes and broadcast this all over Australia, bragging about how they had beat the Chinese because they found that by taking life's first superfood, colostrum, from their bovine cows, increased their athletic performance, increased lean muscle mass, cut the recovery time in half, and gave athletes an edge that was just superb. Now, I took another step on this and developed the liposomal delivery method for the colostrum, because if we digest colostrum, we destroy it. Now, raw, natural, liquid colostrum, right out of the breast of the mother, is surrounded by the cell membrane lipids, phosphatidylserine and choline. These lipids are very special because they line up head to tail, they create a negative and positive attraction. They will dissolve in water and oil simultaneously, hydrophilic and hydrophobic at the same time. It's the only substance in the world that does that. Why is that important? Because it can penetrate the skin layers. Skin layers on the outside of the body, but especially the skin layers in the intestine. So we can deliver the colostrum intact into the bloodstream where it circulates and can be delivered at the cellular level. And without that liposomal delivery system, basically, if you don't have that on your colostrum, and if you don't have all of the major components in the colostrum to begin with, and can't deliver them and can't protect them, you might as well be taking powdered milk. Now, if you have those factors that we do solely from symbiotics, the factors of the liposomal delivery, and tested and GMP certified content, then colostrum can provide all of the benefits that we've discussed of immune benefits. Colostrum powder and the IRM spray we've developed are fabulous for autoimmune conditions to help stop the body from destroying its own tissue, stop the overproduction of IgEs and IgAs and histamines, bring those back into balance. We've seen marvelous work across the board with all food allergies and airborne allergies. In fact, taking IRM and colostrum on an autoimmune and allergy basis usually will bring people back very quickly into normal balance and eliminate all of the symptoms and conditions that are related to this. So the biggest interest that we've had here at this show at this conference has been our ability to deal with autoimmune conditions, which are very difficult to deal with, and there are no pharmaceutical preparations that are currently approved that are active and beneficial for that particular condition. So that's what makes Sovereign Laboratories products special. That's why I have a driving interest in seeing that we have the best products in the world, because if it didn't, then K wouldn't have survived. And I make it a mission to make absolutely certain that everyone that works with our products is going to have a standardized, reliable, dependable product every bottle, every time.